It is the end for Leicester City in the Championship. 10 years on from one of the greatest sporting achievements ever, the former champions of England are heading to lower league football. A sad, humiliating demise for a club that showed the world you can dream. They live that dream, but look at them now.
Well, at least they showed some spirit in the second half. I've looked back at previous relegated clubs. I can't find another one with the quality and experience that Leicester have. So this is a team, remember, that was tipped to win the Championship title. Falling to League One is unprecedented. A season no one saw coming. I think everyone on the playing side of things at Leicester need to take a long, hard look at themselves, because this is unacceptable.
As for Hull City, they are out of the top six tonight, but still with a chance to grab hold of that playoff ticket again. But tonight, for Leicester City, their stay in the Championship is over, not because they're going to the Premier League, but because they are heading back to League One for only the second time in their history. Their worst season ever. Leicester City, tonight, are relegated. It is finished. Leicester City 2, Hull City 2.
Well, Gary Weaver is absolutely right. He says Leicester City tonight are relegated to League One. This, though, Curtis Davies, Michael Dawson, has been a long, long time coming. Even the boos at the end, there's not enough fans left in that stadium to make a deafening noise. And I mean that with the greatest respect to the Leicester City fans. They have categorically seen enough.
Yeah, and I can't believe we're sitting there and we've witnessed this. You know, we've watched it all season, Prots.
Yeah.
And we've seen a Leicester side that underperform, haven't done it individually, collectively, haven't been anywhere near the levels that we expect from that group of players. Now is just a culmination where it's actually come to fruition. They haven't got out of it like we thought they would. Probably like even in-house they think we'll be all right. It hasn't happened, and ultimately this is the result. You look at the quality of the players here that are walking, trying to clap the few fans that are left. It's devastating for them, but I think for those fans it's probably a little bit more devastating because, again, what we've just spoken about, this is a team that got promoted 2 years ago from this league with similar players, and it's absolutely, just so harsh for them to go and watch that.
Well, I mean, you'd have to be much of a lip reader. I'm not trying to draw attention to it, but you know exactly what the fans are feeling. You win as a collective, Michael Dawson, you lose as a collective, you get relegated as an organisation. They want the board out, they want categorically different ownership. That ownership, part of it, of course, has led them to the very top of the tree in the Premier League. This is just so vastly different, isn't it?
So much of a disconnect between, the fans, the players.
Booing their own player when he came on.
I mean, we saw the reaction when they were leading the game and Harry Winks came on at 2-1 when they had to win the game to give themselves a chance to stay in the championship. It's quite remarkable. We're saying that. I echo everything that Curtis said. I tipped this team minimum to be in the playoffs. Could quite easily have been in the top two before a ball was kicked. Yes, they've had the 6-point deduction. I don't care. These players have way underachieved. Unacceptable, because times you talk about investment. I don't care about investment when you look at that group of players. Way underachieved. People talk about the hierarchy, put your money in, do this. As a player, you have to take responsibility. Individually, collectively, this football club has been nowhere near it, and I cannot believe that 2 years ago they were promoted. 10 years ago they were Premier League winners, and now they're in League One.
I think the faces of the fans really do sum up what we've seen. Curtis is absolutely right. What we've seen over the course of the season, it's been that slow-moving train wreck, really, hasn't it, that's culminated tonight. As I said, Gary Weaver confirmed it with Leicester relegated to League One tonight with 2 games to go. However, there's so much that goes into this. I mean, now is not the time, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How on earth do you unpack this?
Listen, the issues they've had financially in the Championship, and obviously we saw the Championship into the Premier League, all the issues they've had. What will happen in League One? Yeah. They've got an £85 million training ground that needs to keep the lights on. They've got players that are going to be on astronomical wages. And I know there'll be pay cuts from the Premier League to the Championship, Championship to League One. but they're still going to be on astronomical money for League One. How do they?
Are they
do
going to
this?
stick around? Are you going to get a load of players that go, do you know what, I don't fancy League One football, however we've played you into
The thing is, we're talking about a group of players that we thought from the Championship would get promoted.
Yeah.
Imagine them in League One. Quality-wise, you'd say, yeah, they'll walk
Yeah.
it. But if they don't want to be there in the Championship, who's going to want to be there in League One? And whoever the manager is, it'd be happier, in my opinion, to see a load of them go, and that's probably for the best for them, but for the best for the football club to start again. Because there are people that will want to play for that football club. I played for that football club for a very short time.
Yeah.
But there will be people that want to play for that football club, want to put on that shirt, want to go to that training ground, amazing facility that is, play at that stadium in front of those fans. So the rebuild is going to be massive, but it's going to be one that I don't know how they do it with so many players on such good wages and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a big
that is the
rebuild.
problem.
Yeah.
The wages. Who's going to be able to fund it? Who wants to take a player that have had back-to-back relegations? You've got to look right. Is there a quality in that dressing room? No doubt about it. Have they got the mental side, psychologically ready to go and battle whatever club it's going to be at? And I don't see any of these players going back to the Premier League, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a Championship team might look and go, right, you've taken a big pay cut to come, because these players still will be on Premier League wages.
Yeah.
Then you take your pay cut, and then still, will they have a League One relegation? I can't answer that. It's just quite remarkable that back to back. And we touched on Luton doing it. This is a different level of football club, and take nothing away from Luton, what they did in getting promoted.
Yeah.
But Leicester City were Premier League winners 10 years ago. I keep going back to it. It's unbelievable to see this fan base turn on the players like they have done. But you can see the disappointment that's in the body language, in the face, and they've been waiting for this with two Championship games to go. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not on the final day, in the final minutes, and that second half
It
performance.
never felt like obviously, in the most relative of terms, using the phrase "do or die," Curtis, it never felt that at the edge for them at all, did it? We've spoken about this club for the whole season, as you say, intensely so for the last few weeks. We've seen Gary Rowett go in, a man that we all know well and have worked with a lot, and even he's alluding to the fact that yes, it's a group of players that cares, that just haven't been good enough. Is that a good enough excuse at all?
Not all. And we saw a Leicester side that I've wanted to see in that last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the Leicester side I've wanted to see all season. Running all over teams, they're running all over Hull. They nearly got caught in the transitions a couple of times, but so what? They had some brilliant chances. Listen, I'm not a massive fan of XG, but the second half compared to the first half, their XG was 2.34 in the second half, and most of those chances came in the last 20 minutes. So it just shows that when it's kind of back to the wall and it's finally, we have to come out swinging now, but it's all too little too late. And, you know, it's a shame really to see that you've got a group and a fan base that have now turned their back on this ownership group. Listen, they lost the key owner, of course, tragically, and his son is taking the reins, but this is still the team that, in terms of the management and ownership team, that have got them that great success, that got them the Premier League title, that won the FA Cup with them. But for them to be turning their backs on them just shows what a critical mess this club is in right now.